Hello and welcome. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you all so much for joining us for yet another week of the Upskill Forum. I am Vince and I am the CEO and co founder of Agile Consulting Group, and I'm here with.
Thaddeus, also known as TJ. I'm the president and co-founder of the Agile Consulting Group. Welcome.
We are so excited to have you all join us this evening. We have such an exciting episode in store for you guys. But before we jump into that, TJ, how's your week been going so far?
The week's been good so far, Vince. We have had almost 90-degree weather. Well, it's only Tuesday, but anyone that knows me knows I love the heat. It's kind of depressing to think about the fact that summer is almost over with, especially in Wisconsin. You only get this is like the boomerang. You only get 2 months of summer here. So it's just like, ugh. So you kind of got to enjoy every moment of it and just make every minute count.
Absolutely. Yeah, this morning I woke up. It was so hard to get out of bed. It was a thunderstorm. The rain was coming down fairly hard, and my alarm went off, and I'm like, whoa, it's time to wake up already. But I got up and got moving, and and before I knew it, it was 6:30. One of my favorite time of the day on Tuesday is literally 6:30.
Why?
Because we are in our recording for the Upskill Forum. So that's the highlight of my day, especially on Tuesday. So I'm always looking forward to hopping on, engaging with you all, having dialogue about topics that matter to you all the most. And two, I get to do it hanging out with my best friend.
I enjoy it. I mean, I can't tell any fib here. I've gotten so much feedback from individuals that have really benefited from these dialogues, the conversation, the topics that you all send in for us to talk about. It's honestly really good, and I enjoy not only spending time with my best friend, but spending time with you and just hearing your feedback, some of the things that you deal with every single day. And this is real life.
Absolutely.
So definitely appreciate the opportunity to engage and everything that you all add to the Upskill Forum every single day by sending your comments, dropping in what your opinions are. Like, it matters. We learn from each other and definitely enjoy spending that time with you.
And with that being said, as you guys are coming in, make sure that you go and you share this video with your network, because we do share some very helpful information that has really impacted a lot of professionals. And those of you that watch, it has impacted you guys as well. We get your feedback and we're so appreciative of it. And go ahead and start that watch party. Yes, go ahead and start that watch party and get those individuals to join in with you in dialogue. Don't be afraid to even take some time after we're done to discuss some of the topics that we covered and share how that has impacted you and your thought process and your perspective. And then there's also a section at the end of our live stream where we open it up for questions and answers. So don't forget to get those comments and those thoughts and those questions ready, because we do answer them here via live. All right. So without further ado, we are going to jump into this week's episode of the Upskill Forum. And all right. So our topic is balancing work and life.
It's hard sometimes.
Oh, that's hard. Balancing work and life. I don't know about you guys. You may have a spouse, you may have a parent, or somebody that's a workaholic, and it seems like nothing else is important but their job, them growing in their career, them getting that promotion. That's all they seem to focus on. And then eventually what happens? They get burnt out, T.
Burnt out happens, and it's real. Being burnt out is, I can testify about it as if I was at church, but I can definitely share, when you start working and you make that your main focus and you don't take the time to, do what's important for you, burnout does happen.
It happens. And guess what? Sometimes a lot of people carry feelings of guilt,
Yep.
For wanting to take time to take care of themselves. But we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper. But as you all know, those of you who are our faithful watchers, we like to kick it off with a quote. And that is, balance is not better than time management, but better boundary management. Balance means making choices and enjoying those choices. Accept that there is no perfect work-life balance. Man, that's heavy, TJ. Acceptance, man. Like when you have to accept it, that means that, okay, this clearly must be true. This clearly must be the reality of, the whole situation, now that I have to accept it. Now, for myself personally, I once was that workaholic. Vacation, checking emails, I'm replying to things, I'm the leader, everybody's leaning on me, they're depending on me, so work took up so much of my time and my attention that I no longer enjoy the job anymore.
No, that's real, Vince. But I guess my question is, if you fell dead today, would the business close or would they keep going?
They'll keep going.
Exactly.
For sure.
So understanding how important it is that we have to focus on what matters. We're going to talk a little bit about that and engage more, but focusing on what matters, and that is you, because how can you be the best you if you're not at your best?
So that leads us to our first point for this evening. Find a job that you love. What do they say? Like, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, or something like that. Find a job that you love. Yes, that can be extremely challenging, especially you find a job that you think that you would love based off the job description. They end up going with a different candidate. You try time after time after time again to get into that company. You try time after time again to get into that role. And, you want to find a job that you actually love, that you don't mind waking up to and going to every day.
Yep, I think Steve Jobs said it best about finding a job that you love and making sure that is something that you enjoy, something that it's not a chore to go in every day. I think about individuals that work in call centers. If you know you don't like people, my friend, you should not be working in a call center, because every minute, every 3 minutes, there's a call that's constantly coming in. And guess what? You got to work with those people. You have to talk to those individuals. If you know that you don't like being outside, then my friend, you probably should not be a postal worker, right? Because that mail has to get delivered. So you have to think about what's important to you and how will that affect your day. Now, you may be thinking with that or TJ, I got to eat. I have to make money. I am 100% with you. What does it say? If a man don't work, he don't eat. Synonymous with woman also. I can definitely relate to that. But think about it. In the meantime, yes, you may have to do something to get from point A to point B, but don't make that your long term, because you will end up being miserable to the point that you hate your job. Yep. You're not being effective in your role. Mm-hmm. So it's so important that you actually enjoy what you do, or at minimum, at least look at the highlights, or find the best in the role that you're doing so that you're not miserable in it.
I think that is oftentimes the challenge, though, TJ, is finding, what it is that you like. Most people never really discover what it is that they want to do or aspire, to do. A lot of people are still trying to figure it out, but it definitely can be challenging finding a job that you love. But I love the points that you shared. Like, if you know certain things, don't do it. If you know that you don't like talking to people, you might not want to work at the call center.
Right.
If you know that you're not a phone person, if you know that, like you said, if you don't like the outdoors, you don't want to be a mail carrier, so it's like taking those things into consideration, because if you don't like children, don't work for a child care facility or be an educator. Right. So you have to connect those dots, and that way you could give your best every day when you show up for work. And I think that's a good segue, TJ, into our second point: prioritizing your health. And that health isn't just your physical health, but it's also your mental health. Many times we are working jobs that are impacting our mental state of being. We're no good because we are now depressed. We're now filled with anxiety. We don't know what our boss is going to say. We don't know if our coworkers are going to be picking on us on that particular day. We don't know what to expect when we enter into that workplace. And that can cause us to become overwhelmed. So when we start thinking about balancing work and life, you have to make sure that you're making good decisions for you that would cater to your overall well-being, that'll cater to your mental health and your physical health, because your mental health can turn and impact your physical state of being.
Do you think it's wrong to go to therapy or to see a counselor? We talk about this a lot, especially in corporate America, and a lot of employers offer these types of services to make sure that we are well. And a lot of times I think individuals think that going for therapy or having a counselor, someone that you can just talk to and be free, people think it's bad. Oh, it's something wrong with that individual, or I'm not doing that. I don't need to talk to anybody. But I think it's so important that you understand that everybody needs someone to talk to. And it may not necessarily mean that it's your best friend. Maybe you need to have a professional that can help you.
I agree 100%. If I could be transparent and even share myself, I have a therapist, and I love, how much, TJ, I love going to therapy. It's actually one of my highlights of the month when I have my appointments set and I can just go and I can just pour out whatever it is that I'm feeling, any stress that I'm feeling with work, any stress that I may be dealing with even in my personal life. I'm able to share those things in that setting, and every time I leave I feel so empowered. Absolutely. And I feel it's so much better. It's not something that I need on a frequent basis, but it's definitely an outlet I enjoy having. So I encourage you all to take that route. Don't be afraid. Go and get you a therapist. Your therapist will literally seem as though like they're becoming like one of your best friends because you share, so much with them. So definitely encourage you guys to take that route if you haven't done so already.
I was just reading some of the comments. Okay. I can't wait till we have the opportunity to dialogue and talk about them. But I think what Vince said is so true. Put yourself first. Make yourself number one, because if you are well in your mental health, if you're well within your body, that's going to help you do what you need to do even better within your job.
And, take time away. Now, this one is huge. If Vincent does not do anything else, Vincent is going to take a vacation.
Got to.
And when I vacation, I completely unplug. I don't think about work. I don't check my email. I don't check my call log. I don't check anything pertaining to work when I am off of work. When I'm off of work and I put that time in, those are my hours that I earned for vacation, floating holidays, whatever the case may be. Vincent is completely off. I am unplugged. And TJ, he can attest to that.
Yeah.
Vincent is unplugged. Even from like matters at home, like do not call me pertaining to anything that is happening back home, any disagreements, misunderstandings, any problem that is happening or occurring at home. Don't call me. Wait until I get back from my vacation and then you can share. But that's setting a boundary.
No, I think that's good, Vince. And that's not my testimony. That's something that Thad has to work on. Generally, if I'm on vacation, and I just did something of actually putting my work email on my work phone. Originally I had it on my personal device, and I was always, still engaged and still trying to make sure that, everything was done. And it's been said to me so many times, work will be there when you get back. I promise you it's not going anywhere. But in my mind, it's like I have to answer, this client right away. I want to make sure that everything is good. But honestly, what good am I doing by not unplugging?
But check this out, TJ. If you died today, God forbid, if you died today, somebody else will pick up those emails and they will fulfill whatever request that they're submitting to you via email. They would find a different avenue to get the help that they need and answers to the questions that they have. If something were to happen to you today and you weren't able to show up, if you were terminated today, God forbid, if you were terminated today, guess what? Whoever was sending you those emails, they are going to route it to the next best candidate to get whatever question it is that they have answered. Take your time off. Take it off.
I mean, I felt like I just got beat up. Like I was telling on myself, saying like I need to do better, and then literally. But he's right. It is important to take that time away. It is important to take that woosah and just release so that you can focus on what's important. And what's important is you, because I say it all the time. If you are not well, you're not good to anybody. You're not helping that company that you work for. You're not operating in the professional manner that you can with the clients that you're helping, because everyone deserves the best. I believe that when I'm going somewhere and I'm being serviced, I want the best customer service. Anybody that knows me knows if something is not right, you are going to hear about it. I'm going to make sure I told your manager if it's good, and if it's bad, I'm definitely going to make sure I let them know. So you want to make sure that you're at your best, you're able to perform to your best. So it's so important that you can unplug for a few minutes.
Absolutely. And implement self-care into your routine. What does self-care look like? Self-care, once again, traveling, taking time to go to the spa, getting a manicure, pedicure, even going to the hair salon, like things where you're able to treat yourself. It could even be a nature walk, a hike, or a bike ride, or, you may even enjoy swimming. Whatever it is that is your place of peace, your place of serenity, you need to go there, and you need to go there often. I often schedule massages. I schedule, as I shared earlier, I go to therapy as an outlet. I enjoy, for me to feel centered, I have to have my spirituality, where I take time to pray and worship, with God, because that's a part of my faith and who I am as an individual. So I need these things to help keep me centered. And by having these outlets, TJ, this is what helps me to remain that good, wholesome employee in which my employer initially hired.
No, I agree. And that definitely does help you to be all in by ensuring that you do have that self-care. I always say self-care is the best care. No one is going to take care of Thaddeus like Thaddeus.
Yep.
Period. Nobody. So when you think about that, make sure you are taking the time to just unplug, taking the time to do what's important to you. Vince gave some really good examples when you think about hiking. I love bike riding. I mean, there's times I get calls and they're like, you up early on taking a ride. That's my time to just unwind. I like to listen to music. I like to enjoy nature. Things that are important to you, that's what self-care is. So you don't necessarily have to go get a massage or necessarily, get your nails done or different things like that. What's important to you, that's self-care for you. So make sure that you are doing that so that when you are working, you don't feel so drained. I mean, how many times have you went to work and you leave and you're just like, oh my God, I just want to go home? Or how many times have you actually walked into work? So your workday starts at 8, and the moment you sit down, is it 5 o'clock yet? You're already ready to check out. So it's so important that you do take that time for yourself so that you can unwind.
So true. And avoid overscheduling yourself. Be mindful of your time. Just because you have the capacity to do a lot doesn't mean that you need to do a lot.
No, I agree.
Because that can cause burnout, where it's not fun anymore. You're not enjoying what you do anymore. And when you take the fun out of it, it all is for nothing. It feels as though it's in vain.
Absolutely. I think it's very important, especially for those of you that have calendars that other individuals can book themselves on. Maybe you have a team that you work with. Make sure you're blocking out that lunchtime on your calendar. Take that time to step away from your desk, have, whatever it is that's important to you, whether it's a yogurt or maybe you just need to go off and take a walk on your lunch break. Take that time for yourself. So definitely don't allow everyone to control your day. You have to be in control of your day by ensuring that you are putting priorities in place. And again, a priority throughout the day is definitely going to be you so that you can better serve the individuals that you are helping.
When I worked in the office in previous roles, I always took my lunch breaks outside of the office. I would go and get something to eat. Even if I would pack a bag lunch, I would eat in my vehicle because that was my opportunity to get fresh air, get out of the work environment, woosah, have some me time, maybe play a little music or something like that. And then I would feel empowered to go back in and conquer the day. We live in a society where the mindset is, okay, if you work a lot then you're accomplishing a lot. Sometimes you're just working a lot and you're not really getting anything done.
You're not being productive. I mean, I actually have a buddy that he just stares at the computer. And I'm like, what are you doing? And the focus is just really trying to, I have to get this done. I have to work, 8 hours a day. And then next thing you know, it's turned into 9 hours a day. Then it's like it's 8 o'clock at night. You still at work, my friend? Make sure that you are being productive. If you are so focused within your workday that you look up and you haven't accomplished much of anything, that's why it's so important to make sure that you are, setting yourself on a schedule.
Yeah, that is so true. And that goes into our next topic, which is set boundaries and work hours. So TJ pretty much covered that piece, but want to move along. Set goals and priorities and stick to them. So for that one, I am the sticky note king. I thrive off of sticky notes. Fun fact about Vince, I don't like clutter. I don't like a messy work area. It messes with my mental. So I write sticky notes and I stick them around me with things that I need to accomplish for the day. And I typically do not like ending the workday with a messy desk. So my objective is to take sticky notes and I might put 2 items on a sticky note that might join together, and I'll cross it off and then I'll throw it away. And by the end of the workday, I have a clear and clean workstation. And that's how I know that I accomplished everything that I set out to do for that particular workday.
No, that's huge, Vince. And I do something similar. I have Post-it notes on my computer screen. So generally I'll put on there everything that I have for the day, and then I just put the checkbox there, pretty much letting myself know that I accomplished it. For me, I like to cross things off because it lets me know, like, okay, I've got A done, I've got B done, I've got C done. So make that schedule. Make sure you stick to it. Set those priorities so that it shows your productivity, but it also helps you stay organized.
Awesome. So this is the part you've been waiting for, TJ. It is Q&A time. So if you have not done so, drop those questions and comments down in the comment section. And TJ and I are going to take time to answer whatever questions and respond to any comments that you all may have left us. We enjoy this part so much. So Best Mac, she said, in relation to what you said, TJ, about the heat, she said, enjoy the heat. I don't think I'm going to put that one up, but Charlissa James, she said, self-care is important. And she said, you also will be replaced just like that. And her husband, her sweetie, hello, Minister Kevin James. Minister, a message, too busy being busy. Yes, that is so True.
I got some I want to share that actually didn't make the screen.
Okay.
Marcel Jackson said, you take your car for an oil change and tune-ups. You need the same for your mental health, therapy, venting, and counseling. He actually talked about making sure that it's a professional. And when you think about that, it makes a huge difference. I like that point, Marcel, because a lot of times we think that you have to talk to your friends, you have to talk to your loved ones, but there's nothing wrong with talking to a professional. It definitely can help you. It definitely can help you make sure that you are, definitely engaged in being the best that you can be. And then we have another one on here that just talks about making sure that you don't jump in before you put on your seatbelt. That is so important with making sure when you think about setting those priorities, you want to make sure you're good. So don't put yourself in a bad place that you aren't able to succeed and do the right thing for the company that you work for. And it may just be a friend that you're helping out. You always want to make sure that you're doing the right thing for you so that you can be better for your family, coworkers, loved ones, etc.
Love it. Yep. Love it. So we are going to go into our announcement. So meet us here every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for the Upskill Forum. We have tons of fun here at the Upskill Forum, and we're here every week on Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. faithfully. So if you have not done so, make sure that you like our business page. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Agile Consulting Group, so that you can stay on top of these episodes because it is something that you don't want to miss. I think I might be a little biased, TJ, but hey.
I agree with you, Vince. I agree with you for sure. And then definitely schedule your one-on-one consulting with myself or Vince so we can do it jointly together. You may be that individual that's saying, hey, I don't really know what I want to do. I'm struggling with work-life balance. We're here to help you. Talk to us. We have some really good tools that can help you determine what that next step is for you and really ensure that you're doing the right thing for you. So schedule that time with us. You can go to our website. We're more than happy to meet with you one-on-one or again, like I said, the both of us to make sure that you're being the best that you can be and that you're living agile.
And join our private group via Facebook for professionals and entrepreneurs called the Agile Group. So go ahead and submit your request to join, answer those 2 questions so that you can gain access to a bunch of tools and strategies and a community of professionals.
Absolutely. And then like us on Facebook. Like us on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great tool. If you're not using your LinkedIn profile, we encourage you to make one, leverage that tool. Instagram is another great avenue to use for social media, but like all of those great resources that we have for you.
And thank you all so much for tuning in. We are so excited that you guys took time out of your day to sit and join us for this week's episode of the Upskill Forum, Balancing Work and Life. And as we end all of our lives with our motto, live agile, work agile, and succeed agile. Thanks
for joining us.
Until next time, my friends. Take care.